Is Richard Hart, that bastard, gonna be the richest man in the world on paper? Because market cap is kind of a vanity metric and depends on order books and stuff. Or is he going to jail, as some of them haters say? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he's going to jail. I think he has a very good chance at being one of the richest men in the world, if not the, depending on, how you calculate it. But first, I got some intro music today because the price of Hex is up 15 cents and it is making me manic. Woo! Get me amped. Get me amped. So, I don't think he would go to jail. I mean, Hex was a finished product when it launched. People were minting their own coins, and I know he's working with lawyers, and I don't see how Hex is a security. There's no work being done. There's no expectation of work from Richard Hart when you hold Hex. You run the smart contract. You would do all that stuff. Pulse, I mean, maybe that it's not a finished product right now, and there was sort of an ICO, but he worded it well, so it was a sacrifice. It wasn't technically a sale, and yeah, so he's raised, you know, I haven't seen the full figures, at least $1 billion in Pulse, maybe 5 billion. So he's pretty rich already right there. He raised a lot in Hex. He raised a lot of Ether in Hex. Was already kind of rich, supposedly. We can maybe assume that he owns a lot of the origination address in Hex, which has maybe like 30, $40 billion in it. Now he can't really sell it anywhere, that much money, but maybe that's incorporated, maybe it's not all him, maybe the developers have some of it, maybe the lawyers have some of it. But if Hex was $1, and he has half the Hex, and there's 600 billion something Hex, could make him one of the richest people in the world on paper, but it is kind of a vanity metric. Wow. I'd rather see Richard Hart do it like this. I mean, you gotta respect the hustle. It makes sense. So yeah, I'm just saying it right here. Richard Hart may be the richest man in the world on paper, and I'd rather him be the richest than Elon Musk. I mean, maybe he'll just start donating more money, and the Sens Foundation is not. I'm not a dick rider of Richard Hart. He is a smart guy, makes some good points. I don't think he's an expert on medical research by any means, and yeah. And I just wanted to put on record. I think Richard Hart has a good chance at being the richest man in the world, and people say, well, the ownership of Hex is too centralized with like 50%. But, he makes the counterpoint that the best time to buy Facebook stock was when Zuckerberg owned it all. So, I do think he will sell some eventually someday when the price is high enough, but it's not going to be on the market. It's going to be like to an institution, maybe like a grayscale type thing when it's on the stock market. When he's not going to just sell, because if he would just sell right now, the price would crash because people would say, oh, he's selling. So he really can't sell right now. I mean, he could do whatever he wanted, but I think he's waiting for like an institution thing. And the Pulse is pretty great. I sacrificed 2% of my portfolio just because I'm conservative. And yeah, so just doing the maths, he could easily be the richest person in the world. Hex could go to $1. The sky's the limit. There really is no limit to market cap. I mean, if people are throwing their money in and not selling, up and up and up. Guys, I'm sorry I vape on camera because sometimes I'm like, man, if I was trying to quit vaping and I saw this a-hole, this mass hole vaping, that would make me want to vape. And so I'm sorry if you're trying to quit vaping and I'm vaping. I don't see myself quitting. anytime soon. Now, that was, a quick topic. Don't write scripts. So, I've had some thoughts on p-hex versus e-hex. I'm not sure which is going to be more valuable, but I do think the interest rate for staking on p-hex will be less than e-hex because the transaction fees are so shorter. It'd be much easier for people to do detailed stake ladders, small stakes, day-long stakes. I think you'll see a lot more one-day stakes. So more people staking will definitely drive the interest rate to the stakers down. So I feel like p-hex will have a lower APY than e-hex. And that concludes this video. Thank you for tuning in to Josh H. Crypto News. And if you want to see me getting roasted talking about crypto regulations, go to Champagne Crypto's video from 2 days ago, August 2nd, and you will see me. I was just making the point that, we're going to get regulated. Some clarity would be nice and help the space. Yes, regulation could be very bad, but hypothetically it could have some benefits if we do it right. And I think we need to have the discussion of what type of regulation should we have, not no regulations whatsoever. I mean, we already have regulations, and yeah, there is some disturbing things with the regulations coming, and it is a lot of shit. So I'm not necessarily happy about it. I'm just saying I think we need to educate and say, I made the point, like, I'm not an anarchist, not a socialist. I don't want to be told I can't invest in DeFi, but I'm okay with paying some taxes. So that's my stance. We'll see. But catch me tomorrow. Perhaps tomorrow night I will be on Bitcoin and Coffee's show. So the Bitcoin and Coffee, toxic, not toxic maximalist, despite the channel name. And again, speak of toxic, anti-regulation, toxic maximalist, anti-regulators is just not realistic. I do think politicians really don't know what they're doing, and we could shoot ourselves in the foot. But anyway, should I leave you with some intro music or just some visual effects? A little circular breathing for you with my pocket didgeridoo. Yo, peace.